Today, I'm going to show you one thing that can literally double your close rate in the next 3 to 4 weeks by simply understanding your data better. What if I told you that the difference between 15 and 40% close rate has nothing to do with your offer, your pricing, or even your sales script? See, most businesses think they have to increase the ad spend or bring in more salespeople to close more deals. But what they don't realize is there's already a lot of room for improvement in what they're doing right now. But what does that actually mean? Well, it's pretty simple. Not all leads that come through your funnel are equally created. In fact, the source of your lead is the single biggest predictor of whether or not they'll become a customer. Let me give you a real example. One of our clients has literally tripled their close rate from 21 to 62% in just 4 months by simply figuring out what channels were bringing in the best leads. Another example, we have Cash ROAS, 12x, 11x, 10x, 7x by simply identifying what works, optimizing, and then scaling. Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube? Referrals? This is exactly what you should be asking. Think about it. If you knew that one lead source was bringing in 3 times more customers than the others, would you put the most amount of money, time, and energy into it? You probably would. So first off, I'm going to break this down with a very simple example, and then I'll show you how to actually use it with Typeform, and I'm going to provide you with a free tool that's going to help as well. Now imagine we have 2 businesses, business A and business B. They both use the same acquisition channels. They have a Facebook ads, YouTube channel with organic content, and then free Facebook group. Now business A doesn't track where leads come from. They have maybe like a basic Google Sheets tracking how many calls they've booked, what's the current show rate, close rate, and cash collected. But business B, on the other hand, they do track where leads come from, and what they discover is that leads from YouTube are 3 times more likely to close than from Facebook. So what happens now? Business A, since they don't know any better, they have no clue what's going on, they keep throwing money on Facebook ads. But in reality, maybe YouTube is actually the biggest driver, but they don't know, right? So the growth is going to be either stagnant or negative in the long run. But business B shifts all of their attention to YouTube content, which brings in more qualified leads, exactly what we want, and helps them close 2, 3 times, 4 times as many deals. The month-over-month growth is going to be positive every single time. Now, the 3 main problems I've seen time and time again with any business. Most businesses think of tracking like it's an option, right? Nice to have rather than a necessity. Whether you're booking 1,000 calls per month or just dozen, you need data to make smart decisions. Your feelings or your intuition might be helpful, but it's not going to grow your company predictably and reliably. Data always will. The other thing is trusting ad platforms. This is exactly what we see with our clients most of the time is, Facebook, Google, TikTok, they either underreport or overreport what is going on in terms of the return on investment. Therefore, over a longer period of time, it creates a false sense of clarity. So for example, Facebook might claim a lead that came from their ad, but in reality, they watch your content for months. Without proper tracking, you'll actually never know the truth. And lastly, grouping leads together, right? If you don't separate your leads by where they came from, you end up treating all prospects the same. So a prospect from cold email is treated the same as someone who's been watching your YouTube content for months. This means your sales team just wastes its time on people who are just browsing rather than those who are ready to buy. But the main cost over a longer period of time is just you wasting money on ads that were never working. Your sales team just burns out talking to the people who are never going to buy. Your business either doesn't grow or grows very unpredictably, which, you're basically guessing. If you don't have the data, you're just guessing. And you miss out on huge opportunities to scale by simply not setting up a strong foundation right at the beginning. Would you rather book 100 calls at 10% close rate or 50 calls at 20% close rate? They both generated the same amount of revenue, but the second option gets you 50% more customers with half of the work. Now, Client Ascension is a well over 7-figure company, but they came to us with this specific problem. We see where people come from, but have no idea what's the actual performance. The result of taking this actually seriously is tripling the close rate as well as the cash per call. And this wasn't because they changed the offer completely or rewrote the entire script. The exact same sales team, the exact same offer, but focusing on high quality leads. Now, since we are in the high ticket space, increasing your performance by simply a few percent can mean significant growth. It's not like we're selling something for $50. And right now, I'm going to show you how to set this up in Typeform, like I said. So in order to actually track where people come from, we need special tags in our URL, in our links that we provide the lead with, right? So think of it as a name tag you're at the party to identify who is who. When someone clicks on the special link, the certain information within the URL gets passed along to help us identify where are they coming from, right? So if someone came to a store and said, I came from Facebook, and other one said, I found you on YouTube, you would know exactly where are they coming from or which channel produced a new customer. How does it look? It's UTM source, UTM medium, UTM campaign. Source is essentially the highest level, right? So which platform? It will be YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Medium is usually either organic, paid ad, email, just depends on your setup. And then UTM campaign is which specific content. So this could be either ad creative ID, your ID of the YouTube video, ID of your post on Facebook. It really depends. Here's an example of a full URL, right? So we have mirrors.digital, UTM source YouTube, medium, organic, and then how to forecast. Now go to Typeform. It's going to be a few clicks. It's actually set up already. We just have to turn it on. So you are in your Typeform, click on workflow, pull in data, And then as we can see, UTM source, UTM medium, UTM campaign. Just turn this on and every single submission will track where people are coming from. Now I know that creating this trackable URL might seem a little bit too technical, so I actually created a very simple tool that helps you creating your trackable URL. You can use it for free right after this video. This is what you're gonna see. So you have to just fill out the necessary inputs for it to work, right? So I take my website, I put it right here, then the source, let's say it's YouTube, from organic source, right? And double your close rate. You just take this and you provide it to your leads. Now, once you set this up, implement source tracking with these 2 videos. If you don't know how to track close rate, if you don't know how to track appointment setters performance, those are 2 videos breaking down each and every single metric you have to track. Lastly, on the Typeform side of things, just an example. So I have an embedded Typeform on my website. If I come through this link, for example, UTM, YouTube, organic, and double your close rate, and I fill this out, once I fill it out, in results, as we can see, we have UTM source, UTM medium, and UTM campaign. Now, depends on your setup. What do you do with this information? If you pull it through an automation to your CRM or to Google Sheet, or you do it manually, but you have the data as of now, which is the most important part. Once you create all of your links, update each and every single marketing channel. So from social media profiles, YouTube videos, ads that you're running, email signatures, newsletters, etc. So you know exactly where people are coming from. I have shared some very basic examples today, but when you have the data, you can take a little bit step further. So let's say with YouTube content, you can actually differentiate which topics are actually resonating more with your audience that close most amount of deals, right? So since you have the source of your lead, you can do anything you want with the data later on. This is everything from you guys. Implement this right away and you're going to see a significant results in the next few weeks if you take this seriously and you set up a strong foundation right at the beginning. If you are an agency or an info business and you want to scale using data, make sure to book a call down below or check out our case studies. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye.